I'm Craig Siegel. I'm a poet by nature, not like a professional one, but I've always tried doing poetry for as long as I can remember since I first learned about it. Um, One of the things I like to do is come to this coffee shop on common grounds and you have a piece of cake or one of their famous French sodas, sit by the window or look outside the window and sit on the porch and talk with friends. And sometimes I'll just think of poems and write stuff in here. Other times I just like to think about poems I've written here. Some of the stuff I've done over the semester is learn different types of poetry, how to increase the tension, decrease the tension, manipulate it so it's even better than just randomly writing stuff down and hoping it's good. I learned actually what makes a good poem. The poem I'm going to read today is called Afterlife. What is death? What happens when we die? Do we have an afterlife? Do we swim in a pool around and around like nirvana? Is there a heaven and a hell? Do they really exist? I've been told they do. Are they really what we've been told? Do they have pearly white gates and eternal happiness in heaven? Is hell a place of fire and brimstone and eternal punishment? I've also been told that heaven is not what it seems, and neither is hell. Could it be that if there is a heaven and a hell, that hell is not a place of fire and brimstone, and heaven is not a place with pearly white gates and golden clouds? Could it just be a figment of our imagination? Could it be that in heaven you don't get happiness handed to you, that you achieve happiness by working for it? Could it be that in hell, the real punishment is you get everything you've ever wanted without working for it, therefore you're bored for eternity? Could it be that hell doesn't even look like hell, that it looks like heaven but denies you everything you've ever wanted? Could it be that heaven truly looks like hell, and is only there for those that truly belong and are virtuous? Only those that would sacrifice nothing for themselves, and everything to save their families and family to be with the ones they love could get into it, because they were the only ones that would accept a grim fate, that they'd rather go to what appears to be hell than heaven, just so they can be with the ones they love. Could that be the real heaven? Could that be the real hell? Do we even have an afterlife? Could it be that every time we sleep we're just dead, and that when we come back from death we wake up? Could it be that death, permanent death, is just truly an eternal slumber, and that all we are is dreaming? Could that be the real death? Could there not even be an existence? Could we even be real? Could everyone just else be real, or is it just me? Is this just a figment of my imagination? Does anything really exist? Do I even really exist? These worlds confound me. I guess I'll never know the answer until I die. One of the things I like about this poem is that it really reflects as to the thoughts and nerves I had when I was a kid. I was always afraid of death. So my mom would tell me stories about different things of heaven and hell. And my grandmas would also tell me about different things of heaven and hell. Like, one story I heard was heaven and hell were the same, except in heaven, these men had planks in their arms, and they were happy because they would feed the food to each other as the food of friend. They'd lift their arms, they couldn't bend their arms, but they'd lift the food and shove it into the face of the man next to them. Whereas in hell, they had the exact same thing, but they were too stupid to figure out how to eat, so they were eternally starved and crying. Another thing I was told is that heaven isn't always what it seems. It could be a dark, forbidding place that you think is a wicked houseland, where your dog is allowed to go in with you and have water, a little boy was told. But when he went to what appeared to be heaven with the pearly white gates and turned away his dog because there is not allowed to enter, and that is actually hell. I've been told that hell is truly a place of boredom because you can get everything you wanted, where heaven you actually achieve what you want to work for, and that's what keeps you from being bored. So this thing just took a lot of things that I've had from when I was a kid, stories I've heard, thoughts I've had, and I just questioned everything. And that's really what I like, because it's just a true, simple reflection of my past, present, and fears of death. Once again, this is Afterlife by Craig Siegel. What is death? What happens when we die? Do we have an afterlife? Do we swim in a pool around and around like nirvana? Is there a heaven and a hell? Do they really exist? I've been told they do. Are they really what we've been told? Do they have pearly white gates and eternal happiness in heaven? Is hell a place of fire and brimstone and eternal punishment? I've also been told that heaven is not what it seems, and neither is hell.
Could it be that if there is a heaven and hell, that hell's not a place of fire and brimstone? That heaven is not a place with pearly white gates and golden clouds? Could it just be a figment of our imagination? Could it be that in our heaven you don't get happiness handed to you, that you achieve happiness by working for it? Could it be that in hell, the real punishment, you get everything you've ever wanted without working for it? Therefore you're bored for eternity? Could it be that hell doesn't even look like hell? That it looks like heaven but denies you everything you've ever wanted? Could it be that heaven truly looks like hell? It's only there for those that truly belong and are virtuous? Only those that would sacrifice nothing for themselves and everything to save their friends and family to be with the ones they love could get into it? Because they were the only ones that would accept the grim fate, that they'd rather go to what appears to be heaven, hell than heaven, just so they can be with the ones they love? Could that be the real heaven? Could that be the real hell? Do we even have an afterlife? Could it be that every time we sleep we're just dead, and that we come back from death when we wake up? Could it be that death, permanent death, is just truly an eternal slumber, and all that we are is dreaming? Could that be the real death? Could there not even be an existence? Could we even be real? Could everyone else be real, or is it just me? Is this just a figment of my imagination? Does anything really exist? Do I even really exist? These worlds confound me. I guess I will never know the answer until I die.